Hello everyone. Good evening. Om. Good evening, Priya. Hi, Priya. Hello. Maheshwari. Hi, Maheshwari. Good evening. Good evening. Harshal. Good evening. Welcome to the session. Anuja. Hi, Anuja. How are you? Good evening and hello. Welcome to the session. Yes. After a very long time. But as long as we are meeting, the things are absolutely fantastic. Om. Good evening, Alia. Hi, Alia. Dharmi. Hi, Dharmi. How are you? Deepak. Bhagyashree. Quite a few regular names. I remember having interacted with you quite on a regular basis in the past also, isn't it? Good evening, Bhagyashree, Pooja, Bapi Malik. Okay, so welcome to the class, all of you. My name is Pradip Sengupta, and we will be talking about verbal logic. That is our topic today, and this is the last lab to MAH CET, and indeed it is the last lab because we are just a week shy of the D-Day. Now that the dates and all have been. Hi Sanu, हाँ 2 महीने बाद अच्छा ठीक है. All right. Hamad Shamsi, hi Hamad, a big hi to you too. Sushmita. So before we start the session, let me give a high five if you can hear me clearly and if you can see me clearly. Yes? So we are on the same board. I can see you, I can see your texts, and I hope you can hear me as well as you can see me, and there is no technical anomaly whatsoever. Yes? Okay. Good evening, Shruti. How are you? All right. So first of all, from the entire team of BYJU'S Exam Prep, India's premier online test prep platform, and I take this opportunity to thank you so much for having shown faith in us. You have indeed been a great crowd, and it is our utmost privilege to be able to interact with you every day. And guess what? The faculty, the entire team of BYJU'S over here, we have indeed been working very hard to bring to you the best of the best content. Okay. Good day, Shubhangi. Namrata. Hi, Namrata. All right. So without any further ado, let us start the session today, and we will be talking about verbal logic. Okay. And today's session is going to be on quite a few common sense questions, and this is the agenda. Why are we having this session today? First of all, when I talk about verbal logic, you see a number of questions coming from different sections of logical reasoning, be it syllogisms, be it statement assertion, be it cause and effect. So we are going to look at some of the basic concepts of all these lessons so that we are absolutely ready and we start our journey on the best footing. All right. So in this session, we are going to be talking about some of the different questions asked on verbal logic in the MAH CET examination. Also, we will be talking about some of the strategies and how to solve the questions quickly and precisely. This is exactly what the agenda is. All right. Okay. Not at all. Shaina, you are not late. Absolutely not late. Okay. So all in good time. Okay. So let me give you a brief insight into what all topics are we going to cover in today's session so that both of us we start our journey together, right? And we know what we are going to cover. So we have curated the session pretty carefully, keeping in mind the pattern of MAH CET, and these are some of the categories and topics that we will be talking to you about. All right. We will start with some basic concepts on syllogisms. We'll also talk about cause and effect questions. Remember, these questions are an inevitable part of the verbal logic or the reasoning area, the cause and effect statement. So if you get these questions right, your marks will be through the roof. We'll also talk about some questions based on course of action, right? Also, we will be talking about a few questions based on strong and weak argument. Hey Aditya, how are you? All good? All right. So these are some of the areas that we are going to be talking about in our session today. Don't forget to talk to me and don't forget to ask your question. Good seeing you too, KK, after such a long time. All right. Okay. So syllogisms, we are going to cover syllogisms, right? Based on the concepts that we already have been talking about. Okay, we will solve the syllogisms questions based on the traditional method. Okay, we will not make it complicated, and we are going to be talking about some rules which you already know, but let me give you a revision quickly, right? If both the premises are negative, then an affirmative conclusion is not possible. All right, we already know it. And if both the premises are particular, then no conclusion is possible. And if both the premises are negative, no conclusion is possible. Keeping these points in mind, let me take you through the basics of syllogisms. The moment you say all A are B, what is the diagram that we draw? All A are B. This is the diagram that we draw for all A are B. The moment you say some A or B, what do we see? We see this diagram coming to you, this picture coming to you, some A or B, and when you say no A or B, you know what it means, right? We all know it. So there is nothing new that I am taking up today, right? प्रथमेश ने बोला कि सर थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलिए अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है ठीक सो लेट मी मेक इट बाइलिंगुअल थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी बोलते हैं तो प्रथमेश आपके लिए फिर से बता देता हूं ये तीन डायग्राम हमने ऑलरेडी देखे हैं ऑल ए आर बी में हम ये ड्रॉ करते हैं सम ए आर बी में हम ये डायग्राम ड्रॉ करते हैं एंड ऑल ए आर बी में हम ये डायग्राम ड्रॉ सो इन मैजिक फिगर्स को ध्यान में रखेंगे और इन पॉइंट्स को ध्यान में रखेंगे और इनको ध्यान में रख करके हम कुछ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे ऑलराइट आई होप प्रथमेश कोई दिक्कत नहीं है मैं हिंदी में भी बात कर रहा हूं आपसे एंड वी विल हैव फन इन टुडेज सेशन है ना तो आगे चले यस ओके Prasad, we will talk about it only A or B in some time. Okay, all right. Let us look at this question, right? This is the direction for question number 1 and 2. What does it tell us? In the following question, 2 to 3 statements have been given. आपके सामने दिया है. These are followed by 2 conclusions that are based on them. आपके सामने conclusion भी आ जाएगा. Consider the statements to be true. This is important. This is what we have to keep in mind. We have to consider that the statements are true. And then we have to determine which of the given conclusions logically follows the statement. So the question stem is pretty easy. So based on this information, what can we see, right? So these are some of the possibilities which we have to keep in mind, right? You can take a screenshot of it, all those guys who are joining us on YouTube. Option A is only A follows. Option B will be only B follows. Option C will be neither A nor B follows. And option D will be both A and B follow. And then we have option E, either way A or B follows. Okay, so these are the 5 possibilities that we are going to see in the questions that are coming up. All right, okay. Let us look at this question. Very easy question. Some parrots are sparrows. That is the first statement. The second one is all sparrows are pigeons. And you have two conclusions. A, some parrots are pigeons. And B, no sparrow is a parrot. What could be the answer? Can we take a guess very quickly? Let us do this question together. Shanu has marked A. Vicky has also keyed in A. All right. Aditi says A. Okay. And I think pretty much you know the answer, right? You know the answer. Yes, 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 yes. All of you are going with A. So just for those who are joining us for the first time, let me put things in perspective for them. Some sparrows, parrots are sparrows. So can we have this diagram? Some parrots are sparrows, right? And then it says all sparrows are pigeons. All sparrows are pigeons, right? So this is the diagram that you're going to draw. A says some parrots are pigeons. Can we draw this conclusion from this diagram that some parrots are pigeons? From this diagram, it is absolutely clear that A follows. B says no sparrow is a parrot. So no sparrow is a parrot, right? So it can have, it is quite an open-ended one, right? So this conclusion does not follow. So B can be negated, isn't it? Some are, some are not. Answer is, it is inconclusive, right? And that is why the answer should be A, only A follows. I think this was quite an easy one. Can we look at one more question? Right? The basic rule of syllogisms. Let me tell you, in MAH CET, the questions are not going to be tough. Yes, a little bit tricky, but not as tough as they make it in the different exams and other exams. All right? Okay, let's look at one more. Some shoes are black and some black are not sandals. Conclusion, no shoe is a sandal, some shoes are sandals. Yes, can we have the answers? Some shoes are black. Some shoes are black and some black are not sandals. Some black are not sandals. We can have this format. And can we also have this possibility? Can we also have this possibility? Right? So A says no shoe is a sandal. No shoe is a sandal. Yes, as well as no. Inconclusive. Right? Some shoes are sandals. Some shoes are sandals. Yes, no. Right? The moment you have yes, no concept, it is inconclusive. Right? So, all right. Most of you have answered either. Some of you have answered either. The answer should be C, neither A nor B, neither of them fall. So whenever you have this yes no conundrum coming your way, अगर ऐसा रहता है, so हम mark करेंगे inconclusive. And Aditi, you are absolutely right. The answer should be neither A nor B follows. So two questions, two different concepts. We all are covered with this. Okay, all right. मेरी टीम आपसे रिक्वेस्ट कर रही है, please hit the like button, guys. If you are enjoying the session, please hit the like button. That gives us some confidence, and of course, it is a big motivation for us when you like our sessions, right? That actually motivates us to bring you more and more quality content. All right? Okay. एक और challenge लेते हैं. A different question. right? And you will enjoy it. It is pretty interesting. Some vegans are Scandinavians. All Russians are vegans. Some Scandinavians are Canadians. All right. इसका क्या बन सकता है? Can we see क्या बन सकता है इसका? Thank you, Swaraj. Explode the like button. Thank you so much. Okay. Some vegans are Scandinavians. Vegan के लिए V कर देते हैं. Scandinavians के लिए SC कर देते हैं. Russians के लिए R कर देते हैं. Vegans के लिए तो ठीक है V है. Scandinavians के लिए हमने क्या किया? SC किया. Canadians के लिए C किया. All right. All right. All right. All right. So most of you have answered B, right? I think we are together learning the concepts. Yes? Okay. Some vegans are Scandinavians. All Russians are vegans. पहले तो ये बना लेते हैं. So all Russians are vegans. And some vegans are Scandinavians. Some vegans are Scandinavians. Some Scandinavians are Canadians. Some Scandinavians are Canadians. Right? Okay. Conclusion 1 says at least some vegans are Canadians. I have a problem with at least. Some vegans are Canadians. Some are not. Yes, no, conundrum. It is inconclusive. All Russians being Scandinavians is a possibility. You don't have to look any further. This definitely follows. All Russians being Scandinavians is definitely a possibility. So don't you think the answer should have been B? And you people got this one right? Right? Only two follows. And yes, this is the answer. Right? Pawan, I do not know whether the dates are still on or not, right? I think you have to check it once on the internet. If the dates are on, you can fill it up, right? We're just a week shy of the examination, right? Okay, so we just have to check once. Okay, Sachin has answered. Yes, Pawan, it's still open. You can go for it. So question number 3 we have seen. Easy one, tough to nahi tha, right? It was quite an easy one. Let us now look at question number 4. All bats are rats, all yaks are bats, all cats are yaks. I think this is the easiest of the lot. It's all positives. So what should be the answer? Conclusion 1, some rats are yaks. Conclusion 2, all cats are bats. What do you think? देखिए एटलीस्ट कंसिडर करना है कि बिल्कुल करना है, लेकिन हमें ये देखना है क्या एटलीस्ट से भी हमें यस नो का पॉसिबिलिटी आ रहा है. अगर एटलीस्ट से हमें यस नो की पॉसिबिलिटी आ रही है और स्पेसिफिक नहीं है, राइट, तो उसको हम नल एंड वॉइड मानेंगे. एटलीस्ट, इफ एटलीस्ट इज यस और नो, नल एंड वॉइड, उसको थोड़ा ध्यान में रखेंगे. ऑलराइट, ओके, द आंसर्स आर कमिंग थ्रू pretty quickly. All bats are rats. All bats are rats. All yaks are bats. Okay, नीचे से बनाते हैं चलो. All cats are yaks. So all cats are yaks. All yaks are bats. And all bats are rats. So this is the diagram we are going to draw. One says some rats are yaks. Some rats are yaks. Yes, does it follow? Of course. All cats are bats. all cats are bats, it definitely follows. Then, as all of you have mentioned, it is option D, both follow. That is the answer. Both follow. Absolutely right. Okay. Pretty much you people have followed all the concepts of syllogisms, at least some of the concepts of syllogisms, and most of you have answered it pretty fine. Congratulations. You all have answered it absolutely fantastically. Okay, so these were some of the concepts. I know they were not very tricky, simple concepts. Keep them in mind, and guess what? You will be on song. Okay, so after syllogisms, let us now talk about a totally different set of question pattern, that is course of action. Now, when you talk about course of action, we are trying to find a solution to a given issue or a problem. You have a problem in front of you and you have to look at the solution. आपको solution ढूंढना है, and guess what? Your solution must be viable. Your solution must be practical. So whenever you look at such questions, what are some of the things that you must keep in mind? All right. So in course of action, number one, what do we have to do? We have a problem and we need to find a solution to the given problem. That is the first step. The second step is, do not solve tangential problem. Tangential problem, any problem that does not address the issue, any solution that does not address the issue, something which is, highly deviated, something which is far-fetched. All right. Feasible and practical solution. I want your attention to these two words. कोई भी solution तुम्हारा, far-fetched नहीं होगा. It should be practical, right? It should make sense and it should be rational. Feasible होना चाहिए. And no extreme steps. No extreme steps. A student has not done his homework. So should the teacher beat him or should the teacher counsel him? Well, we all have grown up with this idea, spare the rod and spoil the child, right? But today, beating is not an option. So beating will be an extreme step. So counseling is definitely one of the important course of action that the teacher should follow. So any extreme step should not be the course of action. All right? And we cannot assume anything. Nothing should be taken for granted. Assumption का मतलब मैं बता दूं आपको. Assumption का मतलब होता है when you start taking things for granted. कि चलो ऐसा तो होगा ही, right? We are not going to assume anything. We are going to look at the problem in the light of its truthfulness. All right? Okay. And take the greater good into consideration. Sachin has a question. Sir, can you explain question number 2 conclusion? Sachin, will you please allow me some time to finish off this course of action segment? Then I can go back to question number 2 if that is all right with you. All right. Thank you. So, whenever you look at a course of action problem, guys, you have to consider that it should benefit the society, right? It should not be selfish. It should not be narrow-minded. So any course of action which is selfish, any course of action which is narrow cannot be the answer option. All right. Let us look at some of the questions and then we'll try to answer them. Okay. All right. Let us look at question number 5. What does it tell you? In one of the worst accidents in railway level crossing, 50 people died. Now look at the facts. And when did the people die? When a bus carrying them collided with a running train. When the bus carrying them collided with a running train. So this is the problem in hand. This is the statement or this is the problem. Let's read the courses of action. 1. The train driver should immediately be suspended. 2. the driver of the bus should be tried in court for negligence on his, her, or their part. And 3 says the railway authorities should be asked to operate all its level crossings. What do you think should be the answer option? So it's 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Quite a few answers coming. Rosters 2, Atul 3. Okay. So it's quite a mixed bag of responses that I'm getting. All right. Accident ho gaya. Right. Something which has been done cannot be undone. कहाँ पे हुआ था? Railway crossing पे हुआ. All right. कितने लोग मर गए? 50 people died. Right. When a bus carrying them collided with a running train. Okay. So this has happened. You cannot change it. But can you take steps so that such an accident doesn't happen in future? Right? Solution for the greater good. Right? Solution which is feasible. The train driver should immediately be suspended. Well, you know that the train, it has a signal to follow, it has a routine to follow. So this, even if you take this course of action, can this be solved? Or can any step for the future be taken? Think, this is not the solution. Can this be a solution? The driver of the bus should be tried in court for negligence. Even if you try him, right, you cannot bring these people back. But if the railway authorities, operate on all its level crossings, it may avert some future accidents that may take place in future. Right? So prevention is much better than cure. Prevention is much better than cure. So keeping this point in mind, can we safely assume, now A says none follows, B says only 1 and 2 follow, C says only 3 follows, D says only 1 and 3 follows, and E says none of these. Most of you have answered it. The answer is only 3 follows, and that was your answer. All right, that was question number 5 for us, guys. Let us look at another case study. And this is one case study which many of you will face when you join the top-notch corporate sector. Read the question. All right, the question says company X has rejected the first lot of valves. Company X ने क्या किया? Reject कर दिया the first lot of valves supplied by company A and has cancelled its entire order by quoting the use of inferior quality material. So this is the reason for rejection. This is the reason for rejection and poor craftsmanship. All right. So there are 3 courses of action. Company A needs to investigate the functioning of its purchase, production, and quality control departments. 2 says company A should inspect all the valves rejected by company X. And 3 says company A should inform company X that steps have been taken for improvement and renegotiate the schedule of the supply. Okay. 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. All follow. Okay. 1 and 2. All right. So we are actually working in pairs, which is absolutely fantastic. Can we look at the options? These are the options in front of you. 1 and 2 follow, only 2 follows, 2 and either 1 or 3 follow, 1, 2 and 3 follow, none of these follow. So it's either A, either B, either C, either D or E. Ratul says all follow. Okay. Can we go back to the question once? Let us look at the question. Company A ने reject कर दिया, right? Now, once it is rejected, you don't know how company X would think about company A. So do you think once it has been rejected, right, it will be ready for any kind of renegotiation? Is this a solution? You have to look for a course of action, right? You have to look for a solution, right? My question is, can 3 be a solution? It can be an effort. ये कोशिश हो सकती है. It can be an effort, but can this be a solution? Answer is yes or no. Can I have an answer from you? Yes. Now, company A, like company A, has supplied its products to company X. Probably there are many more companies where company A will supply its products, isn't it? So that these things don't happen in other companies, don't you think the first 2 steps are viable? Right? Once these 2 steps are taken care of, only then the third step can be initiated, but this cannot actually result in positivity. Can we be absolutely sure, 100% sure that 3 may happen if company A is informed about company X's problems or troubleshoot? Do you think company A will relent and start buying things? What do you think? Right? So can 3 be a viable solution? Ask yourself this question. तुम अगर कंपनी X के जगह पे बैठे हो तो क्या तुम कंपनी A को right दोबारा वेलकम करोगे? I don't think so. That is not valid. That is not reasonable. That is why your answer actually should have been 1 and 2. These are the immediate courses of action that should have been taken, and 3 should have been left out. I hope you have followed the philosophy behind looking at this question. Okay, it's all pretty logical. It's all pretty common sense question. You just have to put yourself, right, in company X's shoes and company A's shoes to find out the solution. Sushmita has a question. Sir, why to check all valves when only first lot is rejected? Well, who is the stakeholder, Sushmita? Sushmita has a very valid question. Why to check all valves only when first lot is rejected? Now, who is the stakeholder? Right? In this case, the stakeholder is company A. Right? They rejected the first lot of valves. It can have many possibilities. When the first lot is defective, then they may not have opened the second and the third lot. And on that ground, they might have rejected the entire consignment. Isn't it? भाई एक चावल पका है कि नहीं पका, आप एक चावल को ऐसे प्रेस करके पता लगा सकते हैं. Right? It's a very smart move. So your proposition may be right, but right over here, we have to be more practical in our approach, Sushmita. Is that understood? Okay. So question 6, done. Let us now look at question number 7. This one is interesting. Aishwarya has a question, but it can be considered. I think Aishwarya, you're referring to the previous question. Considerations can never be courses of actions, Aishwarya. Right? You can consider being a kind person, being a compassionate person, you can consider it. But considerations, can they be courses of actions? Can they be viable solutions? I think you know the answer. It cannot be a viable solution. Okay. So the question is, children below 10 cannot grasp a concept properly. Kab, when it is explained with the help of text. Now, how do children understand? You have to factor in the psychology of the children. Unko pics chahiye. They understand through images. But problem ho gayi, the books that they are studying, they don't have images. So it is difficult for them to understand the text. So what can be the solution? More pictures should be included in all books for children below 10. Yes, but can it happen now? It is definitely a solution. But is this solution, can this solution solve the problem now? What is your answer? Can it solve the problem now, right now? Well, now that the children are, they have already read the concepts, right? But they cannot grasp it. They cannot understand it. So will it be feasible to test them, on the concepts? Because we know that they have not been able to understand the concepts. No test should be conducted for children below 10, and we are talking about children below 10, right? Since, look at this sign, since children below 10 cannot grasp a concept, therefore more pictures should be included in all books for children below 10. Therefore, no test should be conducted for children below 10. Let's look at the options. These are your options. 1 follows, 2 follows, neither course of action follows, both course of action follows, either course of action. Okay, you have to be very, very practical. Your presence of mind is tested over here. Harsh has a question. Sir, but it is not asked that if we want immediate course of action or not. Harsh, now, whenever you talk about a course of action, right, you have to have a solution that solves the problem in hand. You may solve the problem in future also, but you have to see that you are finding a solution that solves the problem immediately. In future, तुम बहुत कुछ कर सकते हो. For example, verbal logic questions 1 to 10, you have to get them right in 10 minutes, right? What if I give you 2 hours to solve these 10 questions? All of you will get it right. But the need of the hour is to get them right in 10 minutes. So what is the need of the hour? That is something which you need to work on. I hope that answers the question, Harsh. Okay. There is repetition of the statement allowed in conclusion. Well, if it is rephrased or repetition, you will never have a conclusion that is repeated. Okay. So question number 7, what is your answer? 1 follows, 2 follows, neither course of action follows, both follow, or either follow. Well, the answer over here is B, only 2 follows. Please don't take test. Okay. Please allow them to live and breathe. For God's sake, they are children below 10. All right. So 2 is the most viable option. Most of you have got this one right. Okay. Jatin, it is not A, it is 2 dear. All right. Neither तो हो नहीं सकता. Right. क्योंकि दूसरा वाला ज़्यादा feasible है. Right. Okay. So this was question number 7 for us. I hope you have followed. Now let's look at question number 8. Naman, taking test is there in the course of action. It cannot be there in the statement. It is not present in the statement. I agree with you. But can that be a solution? Taking test was there in the solution. It was not there in the statement. Look at this statement. Some workers of the company were caught smoking in the company lawn during the office time. Well, you know how workers are. They smoke, right? But over here, they were caught smoking in the company lawn. All right. Course of action 1, the management of the company should immediately fire those employees who were caught smoking during office hours. And course of action 2 says, warning should be issued to those employees who were caught smoking during office. And your options are only one follows, only two follows, either one or two follows, neither one nor two follows, both one and two follows. Vicky is asking a beautiful question. What if there is some smoking section, right? Vicky, let me use this expression of yours. What if? Vicky, are we not assuming? You may be right, but what if is assumption, right? So anything that borders around what if, जो what if के आसपास घूमता है वो आपका course of action नहीं है. All right. What was the question? उनको आपने पकड़ लिया स्मोक करते हुए, उनको फायर कर देंगे, right? उनको फायर कर देंगे. So what kind of name will it bring to the company? या फिर उनको warn करके छोड़ देंगे, right? Cause for the greater good. Cause for the greater good. The answer should have been B, only two false. Okay, उनको निकाल देना, to throw them out of the company can never be a solution, because there are workers, there may be workers who are absolutely an asset to the company, isn't it? So throwing them out or dismissing them or firing them is not a solution, right? You can warn them, right? Corrective measures can be factored in. You can correct their, behavior, but you cannot just fire them. That would be extreme. All right. So B is the answer. Okay. Now we will be moving towards our next segment, that is cause and effect, right? X causes Y. X causes Y. Okay. So what are cause and effect? You have two statements A and B, and you have to find out whether A causes B, hence B is the effect, or B causes A, hence A is the effect, right? So these are cause and effect statements, right? Hari is sleeping because it is 12 midnight. Because it is 12 midnight, therefore Hari is sleeping, so one can be the cause and the other one can be the effect. Okay? Alright. Moving on to the question. The first step is read both the statements very carefully. Priya has a question, sir. When will we select either of the options? Either A or B, Priya, when both are independent of each other and they are not related, and when both the courses of actions can be applied, okay, and one does not depend on the other one. That is either or. All right. We will look at it from a different angle in some other question. देखो, एक बड़ा अच्छा तरीका है निकालने का. X therefore Y before both the statements one by one. ये लगा दो. अगर therefore का आंसर निकल रहा है तो cause and effect है. Therefore का आंसर अगर नहीं निकल रहा है तो cause and effect नहीं हो सकता. All right. See if there is a logical cause and effect relationship between the two statements. Okay, logical cause and effect statements. A is the cause and B is definitely the effect of it. Okay. For example, Hari has liver problem. Hari consumes alcohol. Now, what is the cause? Since Hari consumes alcohol, therefore Hari has liver problem. But liver problem can crop up for other reasons also, not just alcohol. So thinking that alcohol causes liver problem will not be a viable cause and effect relationship. All right? I hope it is clear to you. Okay. Now, the cause should be either sufficient or necessary for the effect to take place. All right? You have to have a sufficient cause for the effect to take place. If the cause is not sufficient, the effect may be there, but then that statement cannot be considered to be the cause. Okay? Let us look at it with the help of a few questions. These are your options, guys. Okay? If statement A, mark the answer if A is the cause and B is the effect. If B is the cause and A is the effect. If both statements A and B are independent causes. If both statements A and B are effects of independent causes. If both statements 1 and 2 are effects of some common cause. Right? You can click this image and we will get to the question. All right? Harsh has a question over here. Sir, a confusion between effects of independent causes and effects of some. Okay, Harsh, let me take this question with the help of your question with the help of an example. Let us look at this particular question. How are A and B related? How can they be related? Read both the statements and decide which of the following answer choices correctly depicts the relationship between these two statements. Read statement A. The unemployment situation in country X has worsened over the past couple of years. The government of country X has been promoting automation in various sectors to achieve higher growth rates. What do you think should be the answer? All right. Atish has marked B, Sachin A, B, B, 2. All right. We have a very strong word over here, automation, right? Can this be contributing to the unemployment factor? Can this be contributing to the unemployment factor? Well, the answer is yes. Your answer should be statement B is the cause and A is the effect. Okay, people are losing job because of automation in many sectors, right? So B can be easily concluded from the statements given to you. Okay, B is the answer. Absolutely right, all of you. Great answer. All right, great answer. Okay, so this was question number 9. Let us look at question number 10. Okay, A talks about deforestation, the occurrence of deforestation on a vast scale in Gujarat over the past 2 decades. And then in statement B says the Supreme Court has decided to ban the felling of trees. Felling means cutting. उन्होंने कहा कि भाई आप पेड़ मत काटिए, right? So how can these two be related? How can these two be related? We can very well assume that the felling of trees, they do cause deforestation. Agreed. But the question is, can this be the only cause? Can this be the only cause? Because deforestation is caused because of many reasons, right? Wildfire, right? You know, extreme drought. There can be many reasons why deforestation happens. Lack of rain and many trees die. So just because, you know, deforestation can happen because of cutting of trees, this cannot be the only reason. Can we conclude this? A is the cause and B is the effect. Jatin, can this be the immediate effect? That is the question, right? Effect of different causes. Aarti, I agree with you. Soil erosion is also one of the causes. So it would be absolutely immature on our part to conclude that felling of trees cause deforestation. This can be a cause, but this cannot be the only cause. So if you look at the cause and effect, the answer should have been both A and B are effects of independent causes. All right? They are effects of independent causes. You see, this is an effect and this is also an effect, but the cause probably is something different. All right? So this should have been the answer for question number 10. Both statements A and B are effects of independent causes. I hope you have followed question number 10, all of you. Yes? Okay. Let's look at this question. All villages in Ragadpura carry battery powered torches and bamboo sticks, right, after 5 p.m. Right, after 5 p.m. There have been frequent instances of chain snatching and looting in Ragadpura in the past 2 years. Now look at the tense used. We are using a present perfect tense. Right? We are using a present perfect tense. And we use the present perfect tense to show that something that has started in the past, it is still going on. Therefore, something might have, might take place. Something might happen. So can these two sentences, can these two statements be related? If at all they are related, how do we relate them? What is the cause and what is the effect? Question number 11. Can B be the cause? Can A be the cause? Can B be the effect? Can A be the effect? What do you think? B is the cause and A is the effect. Well, I don't have to look any further. Practically speaking, we know that if this is happening, if chain snatching and looting has become a frequent, incidences in Ragadpura, then no wonder why the villagers would not come out with battery powered torches and bamboo sticks, okay, to safeguard themselves, to protect themselves. And that is the reason why, right, B should have been the answer, right? B is the cause and statement A is the effect of it. Okay, torch and bamboo sticks. Why? These two, torches and bamboo sticks, they are mark of protection and safeguard. Okay, you do this in villages for your own safety. It can be safety from wild animals, it can be safety from dacoits, but overall it is safety for oneself. So safety factor has to be thought about. So that is why B should have been the answer over here. All right, that was question number 11 for us. Okay, let us look at question number 12, guys. So the statement is Mumbai's municipal corporation has decided to build flats for all slum dwellers in the city. That's statement A. Statement B says Mumbai has seen a sharp increase in the number of immigrants. Right? How are these two connected? Are they connected at all? Question number 12. All right. Independent causes. B. Both are different effect of independent causes. Rohan, thank you. Effect of independent causes. Okay, fine. Let us look at the options. A is the cause, B is the effect, B is the cause, A is the effect. A and B are independent causes. A and B are effects of independent causes. And A and B are effects of some common cause. Well, since we know that they have decided to build flats, that's okay. They have decided to build fact. This can be an effect, right? Mumbai has seen a sharp increase. This can also be an effect, isn't it? If these two are effects, right? Can we not say that these are the effects of independent causes and those two statements are not related to each other at all? Most of you have got this one right. Hence, D is the answer option. 12th one was an easy one, isn't it? All right. So these were some of the questions based on your cause and effect. All right. I hope you have followed the questions and the concepts. Now let's look at strong and weak arguments. Now, what are strong and weak arguments, and how do we ascertain and how do we know whether the given arguments are strong or weak? What are the parameters to gauge? कौन से parameters होते हैं to find out whether the given argument is strong or weak? All right. Let us look at some of the parameters. Right. Question number 1. अपने आप से कुछ सवाल पूछिए. The first question is the option answering the question? Is it relevant? कितना relevant है? All right. Is it supporting my point of view? Yes or no? And we have to remember that both the arguments must be are mutually exclusive of each other, right? They should not be related to each other in any ways. For example, there is a man, he has stolen rupees 500, right? And he has been jailed for 10 years. Okay. Statement A says it is a harsh statement. Okay. Because this man should have been let out by just, charging a fine and with a warning, right? 10 years of imprisonment for 500 rupees is a harsh statement. Is it a strong argument or a weak argument? Statement B says, right, it is not harsh because the amount of money does not dilute the gravity of the crime. Theft is theft after all, whether it is 500 rupees or 500 crore, right? So in this case, both these arguments are strong. Okay, neither of them are weak. I hope you've understood, right? Is the option answering the question? Yes, both of them are. Is it relevant? Of course, both these statements are relevant. Is it supporting my point of view? Yes. You can have a view and you can also have a counter view, and the view can be as strong as the counter view. So both can be strong and weak at the same time. And are they mutually exclusive? Yes, they are exclusive. So these are some of the points which we have to keep in mind when we answer the strong and weak statements. All right, let's look at the questions. Okay, you have to mark if only one is strong, B, if two is strong, 3, if both are strong, as was the case previously. D, if neither argument is strong. And E, if either argument, 1 or 2, is strong. Both cannot be strong at the same time, but they can be strong in their own merits. All right? Okay. Let's look at the question. Should private schools also implement a learning recovery program for all students? The Learning Recovery Program is a government initiative to help students recover from learning loss during the pandemic. Argument 1 says yes, the program includes revision of concepts which will help students fill the learning gap that they suffered during the lockdown. And argument 2 says no, the argument will not be effective for students of private schools. So what is your point of view? Okay. Look at the question. Should they implement a learning recovery program? And this program is a government initiative, right? Will this help? I think this is addressing the cause. Is it relevant? It is absolutely relevant. 2 says, no, the program will not be effective. Okay. Will not be effective. Does it answer the question why? The answer is no, right? So this is absolutely an impractical argument, right? That is why if you look at the options, if only one is strong, two is strong, both are strong, the answer is A, only argument 1 is strong. I hope you have followed the question. Can we look at one more? All right. Should the government make cycling to office mandatory for those living within a 5-kilometer radius of their work? Yes, it's a natural choice for exercise and fitness, and it's the safest option in the times of social distancing. What do you think about it? No, most places in the country do not have proper roads and infrastructure, such as dedicated cycling lanes, so cycling in traffic is dangerous. Both are strong, both are strong, both are strong. So it is asking a question, right? If you make it mandatory, yes, during social distancing, this can be an alternative, right, to collective commutation. 2 says no, it can be dangerous because of traffic. Even this makes sense. It can be dangerous for people. That is why the argument and the counter argument both are strong. Option C should be the answer. Both arguments are strong. Absolutely right. Can't be made mandatory. We have aged workers too. That is absolutely right, Vicky. But over here, you have to look at one more segment, right? And the segment is, right, when you talk about aged workers, right? Look at the distance that we are talking about, right? The office has to be in in a close proximity to your home, right? So cycling and covering this distance, right, it is an achievable task. And people who are old enough, very old, they have retired, they're past their prime, so they need not go to the office. All right, Vicky? Okay. So the answer was C. Let's look at question number 15, guys, very quickly. Ratul, I actually do not know about the cutoff. It is very hard to say. But once the response starts coming through after the exams, probably we'll be able to give you a better picture. Right now, I cannot stick my neck out and give you just a random figure. Right? Stay with us and we will talk about the cutoffs also. Should municipal authorities be punished with termination of jobs or suspension for the poor maintenance of roads and public facilities? One, yes, they will not work otherwise. And two, no, a better system of accountability must be put in place to ensure that the municipal authorities work effectively. Okay, these are your options. Only argument one is strong, two is strong, both are strong, neither is strong, either of them are strong. Two. Okay, B. Well, the answer option is B. Punishing them so that they listen to you does not make any sense. Yes, you can hold them accountable for their job, make them more responsible. That's how you do the work. So B is the answer option. Yes, correct. Akhil, C, both arguments are strong. Punishment is a harsh step, therefore should be avoided, Atul. Okay, any harsh step we are not going to factor in. All right. Okay, B is the answer. Let's look at the next question very quickly. Okay. Should people stop emigrating to the US in view of the racial violence? Two very important points coming up. Stop emigrating in view of the racial violence. How are these two connected? All right. So one says yes, they should stop emigrating, right? When foreigners, especially Asians, do not go to the US, racial intolerance will decrease. Well, what kind of a logic is this? Argument 2 says, no, we must allow everyone to carry guns and protect themselves. Right? अब X-Men comics से थोड़ी निकल के right? You are not James Bond, and this is too extreme a step. So argument 1, does it make any sense to us? Argument 2, does it make any sense to us? Look at the answer options. Only one is strong. Only two is strong. Both are strong. Neither argument is strong. Either argument 1 or argument 2 is strong. You know what the answer is, right? It's D. Neither of them are strong, right? We have to be very practical when we look at questions, right? We have to be in the thick of things when we look at questions, right? And remember, anyone who is thinking practically will get these answers right. Okay, so Whatever you have learned as far as verbal logic is concerned, the idea is to brush up every concept that we have learned so. Right? If we are in America, even if you are in America, KK, carrying gun, and if you're in America, you cannot stop yourself going to America because you're already there. And carrying gun cannot be a solution to any problem, isn't it? Okay. So this is not the be all and end all. We've got to be, practicing more of verbal logic questions. We have a week's time. So please try to attempt as many verbal logic questions as possible, because this is one area where you can score, because the questions are not going to be very tricky. And this can take your score to a new high, guys. All right. Okay. Now, you can't miss these sessions. We have already had so many sessions on MAH CET, and all the faculty members are doing their level best to help you guys score top notch, have a top notch score. 18th of August, 21st of August, we have Gaurav sir with us once again with figures question and LR question. Then unmissable session on the 19th by Nikita ma'am for VARC. You can't afford to miss her session. And of course, Srinivas sir is there on the 20th of August with QA session. So these 4 power-packed sessions are underway. Please be there with us so that we can discuss more and more questions. All right. So don't forget to join us after the exam, and we are going to be there with you with the first impression and detailed analysis of MAH CET, August 23 to August 25. All right. Subscribe our channel. Please press the bell icon. Follow us on Insta, on Facebook. Join a Telegram group and download the BYJU'S app. I wish you all the very best for your MAH CET. On that note, let me say thank you to you. Please make us proud, and all the very best. God bless you all. We come to the end of the session today. Bye-bye, all of you. Thank you everyone. Priya, thank you. Aarti, thank you. Tiwari, thank you so much. You want to prepare for CMAT? Look for the courses available. Tiwari, thank you, Rohan, and bye-bye, all of you. And please hit the like button, all of you.